Hey guys, it's me again. I hope y'all are doing well because I am back with another video. Today I'm gonna go over the top 10 point guards in the NBA. And before I begin, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm really trying to grow this channel, so yeah, thank you in advance. Now onto the video. The point guard position has a lot of star power, making it difficult to rank. Kemba Walker didn't even make the list because he just wasn't good enough. And one final disclaimer, I thought Luka Doncic was a shooting guard, so he didn't make the video either. Okay, here we go, number 10. At number 10, it's a tie between John Wall and Kyle Lowry. They're both great point guards and they both have their reasons on why they should make this list. I just couldn't decide who to leave out of the list, so I made it a tie at number 10. More on Kyle Lowry later, but John Wall? This guy's one of the fastest players in the league. He's quick when he drives to the basket and he's got solid passing as well. It's just, he hasn't actually played an NBA game in like 2 years. He actually hasn't even played a full NBA season since 2017. But before his career was plagued by injuries, he was actually putting up all-star numbers. For 3 years in a row, he was actually averaging a double-double with about 20 points and at least 10 assists. So yeah, he was putting up all-star numbers. It's just, I'm kind of skeptical on what type of player he's going to be coming out of his injury. And also, how is he going to adjust playing for a new team? Now onto Kyle Lowry. He's been a top 10 point guard for a while now. He's been a 6-time consecutive all-star. He's got great passing numbers. He's an okay scorer as well. But he mainly makes this list because of his leadership and basketball IQ. However, he really isn't as skilled or athletic as other point guards, and he's also getting kinda old at age 34. At number 9, I got Rookie of the Year, Ja Morant. This guy's one of the most explosive and athletic players we've seen. He's always making dunk highlights. He's one of the best at finishing at the rim. He's also a great passer, averaging 7.3 assists last season. Obviously, it's just his second year in the league. His game will keep improving as he further develops into the NBA, and another thing to keep an eye on is injuries. A lot of hyper-athletic players like him tend to get injured, just like Derrick Rose or even John Wall. So hopefully he can stay healthy, and if he does, he'll have a great career. At number 8, I got Jamal Murray. This guy's just a solid player all around. I mean, he's a good shooter, he's a good ball handler, he's a good finisher, and he's a great shot creator. A big thing against him though is his lack of consistency, and his stats really suffer because of that. Last year he averaged 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists, so yeah, that's not really anything special. Those are just regular season stats, and last year he showed how much of a playoff performer he really is. I mean, during the bubble he was putting up like 40-point games and 50-point games left and right. He led the Denver Nuggets to a Western Conference Finals. It's just what's keeping him from being a superstar is his lack of consistency in the regular season. If he can replicate what he does in the playoffs into the regular season, he's easily a top 5 point guard. At number 7, I got Russell Westbrook, another player that's really quick driving to the basket. He plays the game with so much emotion and so much heart, and of course he's definitely one of the most entertaining players to watch. Obviously he puts up great stats, he's known for averaging his triple doubles, but in my opinion that's mainly because of how ball dominant he is and how many shots he takes. He does take a lot of shots even though he's really not a good shooter anymore. Also, he's got really wild decision making. He's difficult to guard because of his quickness, but at age 32, who knows how much longer he can maintain this athleticism. But yeah, he deserves to make this list because he's still one of the greatest point guards of our generation. And at number 6, I got Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is probably one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He gets so much slander for not having a jump shot, and I get that shooting is a huge part of basketball, but Ben Simmons can do so many other things at an elite level. Last year he averaged 16 points, 8 assists, and 7.8 rebounds per game. So he's not really a volume scorer, but he's really efficient. Unlike Westbrook, he's got great passing numbers, and on top of that, he's probably the best defensive point guard in the league. Standing at 6'10" and he can't shoot, he's a really unorthodox type of point guard, but again, he's a really valuable player at the same time. So yeah, he deserves number 6, but he definitely would have skyrocketed up this list if he had more shooting confidence. At number 5, I got Chris Paul. I understand this guy's getting kinda old now, but what keeps him so good for so long is his pure basketball IQ. Last year he averaged 18 points, 6.7 assists, and 5 rebounds. So again, he's not really a volume scorer, but he's got great passing numbers. Chris Paul's always gonna have great handles and court vision. He's also got great defensive energy as well. But what I really like about him is his leadership. Because come on, nobody expected OKC to make the playoffs last year. OKC had such low expectations going into the season, but Chris Paul still led them to the playoffs, bro. Like, once Chris Paul retires, he's gonna end up as a legendary point guard, no doubt. And he still got that value today in my opinion, so he definitely deserves number 5. At number 4, I got the Ice Tray himself, Trae Young. At 23 years old, this guy's a really young player. It's even in his name. This guy can take over a game with his elite handles and his unlimited range. He's been compared to Steph Curry numerous times. Last year he averaged 30 points and 10 assists. Taken this was his second year in the league and he was only 21 years old. His offensive game is already pretty insane, but being a young player, he's gonna have his weaknesses and his areas where he needs to grow. The main concern right now is his defense. He's an absolute defensive liability. Like, he's probably one of the worst defenders in the league. I also want to see him lower his turnover rate. Last year he averaged 5 turnovers per game, which is pretty unacceptable for a guard. And maybe if he led the Hawks to more wins, he would gain more credibility. The Atlanta Hawks were one of the worst teams in the league last year, bro. But again, he's insane for his age, and he's got so many seasons ahead of him to make these improvements. At number 3, I got Kyrie Irving. We all know who he is. Y'all give him so much hate for his off-court drama, but on the court we all know that he's probably one of the greatest ball handler of all time. He's a great shot creator, and on top of that, he's probably one of the best finishers of all time as well. Last year he averaged 27 points, 6.4 assists, and 5.2 rebounds per game, which is really good, but he only played 20 games. He was injured for a huge portion of the season, and he also missed a lot of games because he simply didn't want to play. He received a lot of hate for that, but did y'all forget that this is a guy that has so many tools to break down a defender? He can make even the greatest defenders look foolish. So yeah, I think he really deserves number 3. At number 2, I got Damian Lillard. They don't call him Logo Lillard for nothing. He's got unlimited range, and he makes shooting half-court shots look routine. On top of that, he's great at penetrating the defense with his lightning-quick acceleration to the basket. Combine his shooting ability with his quickness, and you've got a near unguardable player. Last year he averaged 30 points and 8 assists in the regular season, but he also put up one of the most insane performances in the NBA bubble. So yeah, there's not really that much else to say, other than he's one of the greatest offensive players in the NBA. Number 1, I think y'all already know who it's gonna be. Yeah, I gotta go with Curry, man. I mean, I'm talking about the greatest shooter of all time, the greatest point guard of our generation. He was injured for a huge portion of the season last year, but let's not forget who we're talking about. This is Steph Curry, man. He's the greatest point guard of our generation, and it's not even close. He's definitely still capable of replicating that 2015-16 season where he won unanimous MVP. So to me, it was a pretty easy decision. I guess there's not really much else to say. Steph Curry is still the number 1 point guard in the league. And yeah, that just about wraps it up. I hope you liked the video. If you agree with my list, please hit the like button. If you disagree, feel free to dislike and tell me why in the comments. And also, please consider subscribing. I do put a lot of time and thought into these videos, so it would really mean a lot. And yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day.